Who said you can't go home? Real Estate Exposed, brought to you by Signature Real Estate. Real Estate Exposed is all about helping homeowners and those who would like to be homeowners and those who would like to get into real estate.
All right, welcome to Real Estate Exposed, your source of all things real estate, broadcasting live from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Vandana, Bhalla, broker of Signature Real Estate Group.
I'm Brandon Roberts.
And I'm Shelly Panzarella.
Nobody wants titles?
The Shelly Panzarella.
Another Brandon Roberts.
All right, why don't I introduce you guys?
And then we'll introduce you.
And then, yeah. No?
No.
I don't know. It doesn't
Sure.
matter anymore.
This is your show.
Doesn't
We're just
really-
here for the run.
So today on the show, we don't have any guests. It's just us. We're just going to be talking. But I was thinking about it. Oh, let me also put out the fact that we actually have a Facebook page. We have 274 followers right now.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Somebody
like
likes us.
4 days, yeah.
274 people like us. Whether they follow us or actually follow us is a different scenario. But
If they actually listen to the show, that's a whole nother scenario.
I know, but
but
it's so cool.
How many views do we have? 0? 2.
I mean,
know
I
watched
viewed it.
how many times did you watch it? Combined, we got 9. 3. No, but we're also on YouTube now. You can find us, search out Real Estate Exposed on YouTube. We're also on iTunes podcast and soon to be on Google.
That's so cool.
Spotify, you can find us anywhere.
Wow.
That's kind of exciting. I think
kind
that's
of a
really
big
awesome.
deal.
We are kind of a big deal.
just
So
don't know
on
it.
our Facebook fan page is facebook.com/realestatex. What? Because we're exposing shit all up in here. But I do want to say I have had some of the funniest stories come about just in the last few weeks. And so I want to talk about that really quickly. Was there
About
anything
being
else on
exposed,
introduction? Yeah. Was there anything else in the introduction that I missed?
No, I think we should save the stats to when everyone's already asleep at the end of the show.
Okay. I'm
I was going
good
to say
with-
maybe start off in the beginning because it takes us a minute to warm up.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's
However.
up
Are we
to
talking
you.
about it being foreplay or something?
It
I'm
is.
sorry.
Stats?
Yes, that's exactly
That's
what it
exciting.
is.
That relationship will last.
No, that wasn't what,
I'm
that
saving
wasn't the
marriages here.
stats. Yeah, the foreplay part was in reference to coming soon. Coming soon is foreplay for actual listings of
Okay, way
properties.
too many words that take us down that exposed path.
But you get it.
Yes.
So, okay,
I
new
don't
listings.
get it.
I just want to say that there are new listings in the last 7 days that are down from last week. Because last week our number was closer to 1,000, but it's now less than 1,000. So it's a little bit less, just not a whole lot less. Why are you smirking?
Is
I'm
the
just-
coming soon up
Yeah, so coming soon. No, coming soon is down.
also?
Coming soon is down.
What's going on?
That's 84 listings only. So coming soon is down. Overall, we're seeing sort of things slowing down as far as what's actually sold. We've had 877 properties that have sold in the last week, in the last 7 days. Essentially, week also means 7 days.
When you
just
say
FYI.
sold, that's went in escrow or actually closed?
Closed.
Closed,
Sold,
okay.
like change status, sold. And so, crap. It's not working the way that I want it to. So let me tell you about the solds. So do you want to take a guess at what the highest price sale was?
You already did that on episode 1.
I know, but that was
And
episode
episode
1. That was
2.
like 2 weeks ago.
Since then.
Since then.
Last week was like 14 million, right?
Yeah.
So we're at 15?
No. This week, in the last 7 days, the highest price
3.
sale was 5.3.
Oh.
$5,350,000.
Did you guys
Yeah.
see that Wayne Newton's compound
Maybe that was it.
is up for sale? $30 million. How long do you
What?
think that'll take? I just saw shocking news.
So if
Breaking here first.
If 5
Breaking
million
news.
takes, so that one took 849 days, which we talked about. Sometimes these higher priced homes take a little bit longer, 2 years, 3 years. What do you think the 15, 20 million, 30 million, what did you say it was?
30 million.
was
Wayne Newton's. I don't know. Michael Jordan's home has been $20 million. It's been on the market for like 8 years.
Oh, really?
I've been trying to save up my pennies to buy that house one day before.
Just so you can go in?
We should just buy it together.
Just like a
get
buyer's gate.
bunch of people that we like and just everybody buy it together. I guarantee like a bunch of us can do it.
We can't get 30 million together. Come on.
Oh, the Shenandoah?
I know a guy.
You know a guy. I know a girl. Oh, that's not the right thing. It's
Nope, not what we're doing here. So anyway, so that's the stats. What did I miss?
I don't know if you missed anything. That's
All right.
pretty good.
All right.
I'm
so
still as confused as I was before, so we're good.
we have.
And he's still awake, so we're still good.
Yeah, fantastic. I've got my coffee.
I'm still looking for that special
Nobody's
creamer.
doing that anymore?
Because ours is
Air
just regular
quotes?
coffee.
No? Okay, got it.
And
Okay.
so speaking of that, was that guy named Dr. Evil or is that
Yeah, Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil? Okay. I kept saying it last night, and Rich was like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, Dr. Evil. He's like, "No, I don't know."
I didn't know Dr. Evil was
Evil.
doing it. You know what's really weird is when we did this show before, it was a radio show, so I never had to like bother with my hair or my makeup. I could just walk. I could stroll in.
We
but
did broadcast it live a couple times.
I don't know what
Remember
you're
we
talking.
were
I
trying-
feel like you keep saying that, but I don't remember
We
that
did.
being a
We
thing.
had. Yeah, we did.
I
Facebook
wanted to
Live
do a
wasn't there.
podcast.
It
Yeah.
wasn't
Did
through
you
that.
know?
It was through some other service, like I don't want to say
MySpace?
like no. Oh, I've been updating my profile on MySpace all week.
Did you change your music though? Because that's the number one thing.
I'm trying to get the glitter background gone.
Okay, wait. Hold on.
Beta, do you even know what
I was gonna
MySpace
say,
is?
Our tech guy is not going to know what that is. That was
Beta's
way
like
He saw it on
MySpace?
Wikipedia
BB
somewhere.
before beta.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, so when I said I want to do a podcast, I didn't know we were going to do a vodcast.
That's what I called it last night. I'm like, I was posting it online. I'm like, it should really be called a vidcast. And Sydney's like, no, it can't be a vidcast. Like, what the heck is that? I'm like, well, we're technically on video and we're casting, right? She's like, that's lame.
Is that called a vlog? Is that what?
No.
No.
What does Joe Rogan call his? It's a podcast.
I don't think you could say
And-
Joe Rogan. We have 274
Hey.
followers now.
We're number 2. We're right
We're about to
behind him.
up
We're
it.
coming for you,
About to
Joe.
up it. Looking for some influencers. Joe Rogan, you know what we're talking about.
Well, I just, when you go to
Joe Rogan.
the highest rated podcast, I guess if he calls it a podcast, we should call ours a podcast.
All right, fine. Podcast it is.
I
Just
still
'cause you
like
can watch us.
Episode.
Yeah,
Episode.
I don't know what you did there. Because I
Exposed. Exposode. I know you were like, she spelled it wrong.
my grammar.
The grammar Nazi.
Yeah. I'm not very good with stuff like that. It drives me insane until
Too
it's
many
fixed.
negatives.
Too many negatives. Yep.
But on
too
the
many
positive
negatives.
side, I did get a reply.
Exactly.
Oh.
So everybody has no idea what we're talking about. Shelly is now automated, right? That's what we're.
It's
we're talking
driving
about.
me crazy.
Yeah. Brandon gets too many emails as it is.
And now
Is
Shelly has an autoresponder, so
So he's no longer sending her emails.
the struggle is real.
But I mean, let's talk about that though. Communication, because even from a realtor standpoint, it's crazy how many I call for my listing agents to chat with them about the buyers and stuff. And when they go to email or they go to voicemail all the time. When they've responded, it's like, "Hi, it's Shelly Panzarella. I can't hear it. I'm talking to you." And I'm like, "Could you get closer to the mic so you can hear? Who are you calling on? And what is it? What are you actually calling me for?" But then they never call back, or their first line of response is text. "What are you calling me for?" Isn't that, I don't know, our former communication has just gotten really...
Welcome to 2020. Shelly,
2020?
people are texting. We're 2020 now.
Things
We're
were
still
so much better when we had MySpace.
Well, I mean, nobody really calls anymore.
But they should. And I get frustrated. I mean, I don't.
Brandon, you can't answer your emails. Forget your phone.
No,
It's
I know. That's why they should stop emailing me and call me.
And auto-responders.
No, I got an offer on a property over the weekend, and I got the email, and it's from a good agent, and no response, no call, no text, no nothing. It's just like, I hope you get this in your email.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's
I
silly.
replied received.
Received
Not
to
really.
everybody.
Which is your favorite thing to do?
No, it's.
Did
But
you get a
I think you have to
heartfelt letter
communicate.
from the buyer? That's what I'm hearing is a new thing too now, is a heartfelt letter that comes along with...
That's not the new thing. You
And-
want to know what the new thing is?
What?
Blank contracts being sent to listing agents. That's the new thing.
Blank
Blank
contracts.
contracts. Nothing written on them.
Is that like a blank check?
So
yeah.
I'm not sure.
Nothing written on them. It's crazy. Do you remember? I don't know.
I'm not sure if that's a strategy or just laziness.
I think it's a combination of both.
Wow.
I think agents are starting to get frustrated, buyer's agents, and I'm hearing it across the board here in Las Vegas as well as other states, is that there are agents that are not being lazy, but they've shown so many properties to the buyers, and the buyers have gotten outbid so many times that they're just sending blank contracts to the selling agent, to listing agent, saying, hey, just go ahead and fill this out so that my client gets the offer. I'm just tired of showing the property.
Maybe they
Or
should just
properties, too.
include it with a heartfelt letter, and then the contract would get accepted.
But this is our reality right now. But I don't know how long that's going to continue for. There are definitely, we've talked about inventory every single week. I know nobody pays attention to it, but our inventory is really low in comparison to what it used to be.
But I can tell you how to get your offer accepted without sending a blank contract.
Tell us, Brandon.
Pick up the phone and call them.
Yeah.
Talk to them. Ask them
Yeah.
what their
Right.
client needs. Communicate. Be that agent. Don't be the guy that just sends it over and hopes it gets accepted. So
Yeah. Well, we talked about it last week. I was up against 5 other offers,
Yeah.
and my client ended up getting it because I called the
'Cause you sent
agent.
them a blank offer?
No, no, I'm not that lazy. And quite honestly, I feel like that is not in my client's
not
best
okay.
interest.
Yeah.
Like, how is that not a violation? Like, as a buyer, I would be very upset that somebody just sent over a contract and now I'm paying all of these fees. Yeah, I want to stay within my loan amount, but I'm not desperate. I'm not going to pay for, whatever. I'm a little.
I hope our
Weary
agents
on
aren't
this.
doing that.
I hope so too, but I am seeing it quite a bit. I'm seeing posts about it. I'm seeing like on different blogs and Facebook pages and whatnot that agents are in fact getting text messages from like listing agents, and listing agents are the ones that are posting it. I've seen it more than 3 or 4 times already, where the listing
Wow.
agents send a message over to the buyer's agent, says, "Hey, we got an offer, but it's blank. Yeah, go ahead and fill it out," is the response, because my clients are just tired of looking.
My assistant's on vacation. Can you fill that out for me?
That could be so many things. That's crazy.
Yeah. that
Here,
is
here's your
nuts.
loan application. And yeah, work with my underwriter. Go ahead and close that.
Exactly. Straight to close. I love those deals anyways.
Yeah. Me too. Clear to close is our favorite part,
That's right.
of any transaction. Clear to close. What does that mean?
CTC. Means
No.
you're ready for docs.
It means you're ready for docs, right? It
right.
means you're
The
done.
next
Everything
step
else
of
is
the
done.
process is loan docs.
You Yep. You
Yeah,
have
serving number
given everything
35.
you need to give to the lender, and the lender's got nothing
That's
more that
right.
they need from you. You've given your blood, your urine sample, your
Firstborn.
firstborn. Nothing else is
Just
needed.
don't lose
It's
your
not that
job or
painful
buy a
these
boat and you're good to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or diamond earrings.
Oh my God.
That
So
has
that's
happened.
Does that happen?
Yeah.
Wow.
people buy diamond earrings before
Yeah,
they
we
close as
had
like a
a-
congratulations or something.
To themselves. Yeah.
Oh.
It almost, fortunately, she was able to return her earrings back to Jared Jewelers and buy them after our closing. But yeah, because we get the little inquiry that says you just inquired at Jared Jewelers. Usually it's like RC Willie or
Yeah,
Living
for furniture.
Space or
But I
something
would
like
get
Or
that.
Home Depot
Right, yeah.
or Lowe's.
You're getting ready to move
yeah.
in.
Single mom, she was so excited, went out and bought herself
Aw.
a new pair of diamond earrings and had to tell her, listen, it's either your earrings or your house. Earrings or your house. Make a decision. So
She chose house.
she did.
Smart
And
girl.
then she went to buy the earrings
Smart.
after.
She got them both.
She got 'em both.
Thank you, Jared.
So what else do you see on closing, like right before closing? What have you seen? Obviously, we've talked about the RC Willie, the Home Depot, Lowe's, right? What else have you seen that's been like out of the
Yeah,
extraordinary?
what's the most
Just-
craziest thing
Crazy-
somebody's
yeah.
bought?
Crazy. Well, that
A
was
car.
kind of, yeah.
Have you
No,
seen
that's
that meme?
funny.
Oh my God, here we are on memes again. Have you seen that meme that says, "Oh, I'm so sorry I didn't use you, but as a realtor, whatever, I have I ended up going with blah blah blah," and so the agent responds back and says, "That's okay. You should celebrate by buying a car."
That's hilarious.
I don't mind at all.
Or
Yeah.
diamond earrings.
I have had it where the agents like, hey, I just went through the walkthrough with my clients and they just pulled up in the brand new Mercedes. I'm like, okay. She's like, yeah, I was just making sure that was on their credit. I'm like, if it was brand new, probably not in the last 30 days.
Oh no.
Yeah. So those are fun, good times.
Yeah. So nobody's bought anything like nuts. I don't think I've had any like.
Can you buy nuts? Like, what are you talking about?
No, I mean.
Will nuts cause you not to get your house?
At Sprouts, they're
All
like
right, so-
$6.99 a pound.
For our
You
followers,
can get them
who
in
are
bulk.
listening-
Just don't get too much.
For our followers who are listening, if you have any crazy stories of shit that you as a buyer have bought or clients of yours have bought, we want to hear them. Like, send it to us through our Facebook page. What's that? Facebook.com
Exposed.
/ our real estate X.
Yep.
Right, is how you get a hold of us. We want to hear those stories. We want to know what you guys are seeing out there. It'd be kind of cool to see or hear about somebody else's story on crap that has happened to them within real estate, like funny shit. Like, I want to hear about the funny stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about like funny stuff in your final inspections and things like that? Has that ever happened? Your walkthroughs?
Not to
hasn't-
me.
Yeah, I was like, Brandon hasn't actually done a walkthrough in how long?
What's a walkthrough?
What?
No, I've been through walkthroughs, but yeah. No, I think the biggest thing when I first started selling real estate, you'd go through a walkthrough. When you showed the house, there was furniture in the house looked nice, and then when they moved the furniture out, baseboards are missing, furniture was covering it up. The place just doesn't look the same. You're like, I hope the buyers still want it because it's theirs.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, if the baseboards are missing and they were never there, right? Technically, they don't need to be put
They were
back
only
in.
missing behind the couch.
The tile underneath the rug. You
I
don't
think
look
it's
that
time to
stuff up?
remodel. Stuff like that happens. It's time to remodel.
Right.
Those baseboards sucked anyway.
I think the whole house should be no baseboards.
No, that doesn't look quite right. I've had that before.
Have you?
It doesn't
No
look right.
baseboards?
No baseboards.
I've never
It's
seen
weird.
that really. It doesn't
Really?
look finished.
No, it's not finished. Yeah. Anyways, all right.
She's
So-
imagining it.
Yeah, I know.
I am. I was trying to like picture it. I'm like,
How would
I'm gonna
that
go
be?
take off all of her
Baseboards or
brand new baseboards just to see what it would look like.
The linoleum wraps up the wall.
The whole wall.
Blends right into the wallpaper.
floor to ceiling linoleum. It'll be
Extra,
wonderful.
extra.
Extra. Yeah, exactly.
Bring your kids
Oh my
and your
God.
pets.
All right.
Easy to
so
clean.
What's going on in our market? Brandon, tell us. You did the research.
I didn't know research.
I keep getting all these email notifications that we're coming out of the recovery. Or sorry, we're in a recovery. Wait,
What is that?
the right word? I don't know. Like we're in a recovery right now.
When
Which I
did
didn't know.
did we miss the downturn?
I know.
Yeah, right. Like the housing, we're in a recovery right now, and so I was just checking to see if I missed.
Well-
I guess it
something.
depends on what side of the transaction
I'm looking
you're
at
on,
an
right?
article right now that says home prices show signs of recovery, rising
Yeah.
4.3% in June, according to the something index, the Schiller index,
The what?
Case Schiller index.
What is that?
Fake news. It's right here. It's big as day. Oh, CNBC. Oh, okay. Never mind. Just kidding. No, but it is being thrown out there. I just didn't know there was a downturn. So
Yeah, I didn't realize there was a downturn.
So we were
our
in a recession
marketplace.
at some point, and now we're
I
coming
think
out.
all the coronavirus stuff drowned out that news. We missed it.
Yeah,
That's
got
good
it.
though. I'm glad I missed it
Me
because
too.
I'm glad we're recovering now.
Yeah, but we've been doing some serious like sales anyway. We talked about it in the first podcast, now the last one, and now this one. Like we haven't really seen a downturn in. I mean, yeah, maybe for some agents, but for the most part, our industry as a whole has been pretty freaking busy.
I agree.
Right. I mean, in comparison to last year when we looked at the numbers, and I think I only did that on the first show. So, why are you laughing?
Oh, because I got another one here. Forbearance rates fall to 7.2%. And then it says forbearances have gone from 7.21% to 7.2%. It's quite a drop.
That is up, right? Am
That's
I
up.
doing my math right?
7.1 to 7.2.
7.21 to
Oh.
7.2. Maybe I said that wrong.
Okay.
So it went
So
down.
point
Yeah.
oh.
So 1.01.
Yeah.
So it's down.
That's better
good,
than the
though.
interest rate I get in my
It
bank.
contributes to the recovery.
So you know my Calabria fee that we were talking about,
The 0.5%
chlamydia fee last episode. Make
Yeah.
sure you stay. Yeah. So he has decided to pull back on that now and has given us a little bit more time to prepare for that. So he extended it, or he's
Oh.
not imposing it now until December.
It's because we talked about.
I know.
We talked crap
I
about
think
it.
so,
He
right?
felt the pressure of our
Our
listeners.
276 followers.
I mean,
were
at that
so-
point, we only had 100. So.
Yeah, let us know what other issues you'd like us to fight. We're happy to do it. Making a difference with Real Estate Exposed.
So I mean, I'd love to hear what's going on in the rest of the country too, as far as their market and how, because every market's a little bit different. I'll tell you, I was taking classes for the California renewal, and the way that they do things versus the way that we do things is so different, right?
Yes.
There are some like what do you call it, parallels, but for the most part they've got a form for just about everything, right? Anything you want to do, anytime you take a check from a client, you have to record it. We don't have that. Like if you give me a check as a buyer, right, and I'm holding on to it as the broker until you have an accepted offer because you're out of town, I don't have to record that anywhere.
When was the last time you took a check from a buyer?
I mean, people don't write checks anymore.
What
Let's
is
be
that?
real. Which is
I thought you
Oh,
were
don't
Beta
pretend like
for
you've
sure
never
has
written
no
a
idea
check.
what
I
a
mean,
check
in
is.
the last 19 months.
Yeah.
Why 19 months
No.
specifically?
That's what I'm saying. Like
I
Beta
had to write you a
probably
check
has
the other day.
no idea what a check is. Like
Beta's
he's like, why is
never-
anybody ever going
Beta's
to
like
use a check?
Venmo, Zelly, and
He's never had to
PayPal.
stand in line at the supermarket behind some lady going for a price check and writing a check.
Oh yeah.
Do you
remember
have
The
two
good
forms
old
of ID?
days. Yeah.
Holy crap.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your check's posted right here. It's bounced before.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Your face is up there. So I did see something that said New York was one of the hardest hit from COVID.
Yep.
Arizona.
Yep.
And Vegas was in there as well.
How's that? Well,
Which, I really do feel like we either lived in our own little bubble or...
I mean, you barely left the house. I barely left the house.
Yeah, we're nice to see you for the last 3 weeks.
I'm glad you came out.
You're welcome.
But, I mean, I didn't realize that Vegas was part of that swing, maybe from the unemployment and...
Well, you have to remember, we are also one of those cities where people come from all over the world, right? And so if there's another place that has this much touristy attractions, I think that they would have the same issue. That's why New York got hit pretty hard. I don't know about
But
I don't know why Arizona.
I don't think we've been hit that hard. I think that's what you're saying, right?
Yeah,
it
correct.
just doesn't feel like we should be
Looking for the
in
stat.
that. Yeah, we're in that
We should be in the top 3.
classification. Yeah.
So that's I mean, that might be a good indication, though, is that we were low and we're in the top 3. Maybe some of the other states did it better than us. I don't know.
No, I don't know.
Housing hardship is what they're saying. So New York...
Oh, in that sense.
Yes.
Okay, that I might agree with.
Okay.
So what would be
Not
the difference?
cases, right? And I think it would have to do with the shutdown of the casinos, the people,
Yes. Yeah.
the income, the unemployment, that kind of stuff. Yeah, this town would be.
Also connected to tourism.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
when all that stuff shuts down and the tourism stops, absolutely. Yeah, so I would agree with that.
Well, and here's the thing, right? Let's talk about those who are currently visiting Las Vegas, right? I mean, our casinos are open.
They're packed.
Right, and they're packed with people who don't really care about the virus. Like, they're not in a situation where they think that the virus is going to spread. It's a flu. Everybody, gets the flu, or people die from the flu. What's the big deal? And so everybody's that's coming. There's 2 definite. I mean, there is a line, right? And there are 2 sides to this COVID situation. And there are people who believe that this is probably one of the most dangerous things that we have seen. And then there's others that are like, it's a flu. Like, well, who cares? And so the ones that think it's the flu, who cares, are the ones that are going to the casinos right now. I will tell you that I've talked to a couple of friends that work down at the Strip, and they're saying that their casinos it's been hard because they don't have that much. One, it's hard to maintain the properties the way that they used to, right? Because your staff is down. Your staff is down because you don't have that many people coming to actually spend money, right, into the casinos. Those people are not coming into the casinos that used to spend a ton of money, are not here anymore. It's kind of hard when you don't have the bars, the clubs, all of those things. And so our casinos have been hit pretty hard with this whole scenario, and it's hard for them to maintain. Yeah, it's hard to maintain the properties. And so we're not, I don't know, like when you look at places like Bellagio and they're sort of run down looking, it's sad, right? Because you can only do so much. What?
I was just going to say, is it run down because there's less people in there and you can actually see it's run down?
Has it been that
you
way?
couldn't see
Yeah,
the crowds
exactly.
through the crowds. But no,
Maybe.
I get it. It's kind of sad to see, but it is good to see people back in the casinos and stuff. But I know they've got to still be losing a ton of money. I mean, just because they're open, the rooms aren't full,
Yep.
the conventions aren't here, the bars,
Yeah,
the clubs, all
yeah.
that stuff. They can't be profitable.
You also have airlines now that are offering, somebody sent me something from Spirit Airlines, $14 one way. Like,
To fly into Vegas?
yes.
Wow.
Is that crazy?
Yeah. Well, and I talked to somebody that said that they were on a full flight coming in and out
Yeah.
of Vegas. I'm like, what about this,
Middle
social
seat?
distancing? Yeah, I thought that you had to be at least middle seat, and they like alternated that. She's like, nope, right on top of each other.
I think there's certain airlines, I've heard of one.
Southwest doesn't
Southwest?
do middle seats.
Yeah, right. But there are some that are filling those middle seats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Southwest is not doing it until the end of October. Well, here's the other thing you have to remember, right? The government gave these airlines some money, and the money is going to start running out come October. And so when that happens, that means there's going to probably be less flights because they can't pay those pilots anymore. Those pilots are on salaries, right?
Tesla planes.
We just Tesla has
Autopilot.
planes.
No.
We just not yet.
They have spaceships.
I mean, my
right.
car feels like it drives,
like a
it
spaceship
flies,
sometimes.
yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? So you're going to have all of these pilots that are not going to be employed anymore because the money's running out. The government's not giving them any more money, which means less flights, which means there's going to be more people on those flights, right? Chances are Southwest isn't going to be able to do that no middle seat.
Stands to reason, but I mean, yeah.
So, anyways, let's talk about real estate. What else we got going on in real estate? Who knows? Who knows what's happening? What's the highest priced home that's currently listed?
$30 million Wayne Newton's concubine.
Ding,
Compound.
ding, ding, ding.
Compound? Concubine? What is
Anywhere
a
in the
concubine?
world? Or?
Concubine?
Compound.
I don't know what.
I'm coming up with some cool
concubine?
words.
I want to buy a
What
compound.
is? What is a concubine?
Actually, I just want to live in a
Shelly?
compound.
You know, I thought of like the signature life compound. You have all your ancillaries and entities, and where could we construct that? That'd be fun.
Our Green Valley office.
Yes. Can we take the whole building?
No.
Yeah. So there are only 11 properties that are listed over $10 million right now in
Here
Vegas.
in Vegas, okay.
Here in Vegas, yeah. The highest price one is $29,900. 29,900,000.
Is
that's
that
got to be
Wayne
Wayne
Newton's?
Is his house on Pecos?
It is.
Yeah.
You remember you had a Christmas party there?
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's right. We had our
Yeah.
Christmas party there.
Well, across the street. And then we had the
Did tours.
bus tour, right?
Does that include all of the airplane and stuff in his museum?
I don't know.
See,
We'd have to ask.
we were
We'd
on
have to
the-
make sure that goes as all personal belongings at zero value to get financing.
We should have got the listing. All of our agents knew that house inside
Yeah.
and out.
For sure.
We took them over in buses.
Yep. And then the next highest priced home is $25 million.
Where's
Where's
that
that
at?
one at?
That one is in Red Rock Country Club, I want to say.
Really?
Yeah.
It's your neighbor.
Why are you shocked?
I didn't think they had
Country Club Hills.
sales prices that high in Red Rock. I thought that was just for the Summit or Vistas. But what do I know?
Yeah.
You're from Henderson.
I'm from
Country Club.
Hendertecky.
Where's Country Club Hills? Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Should I look it up?
Nope, but we should get excited again.
I think we.
This is a lot of dead air.
All right. Fine. What else do you guys want to talk about? Tell me what else is going on in the news, Brandon. You did all the research.
I didn't do the research. I forwarded you an email, and thank you for not replying.
Hold on. Let me just put
Manufactured
it
housing is the new affordable housing.
Manufactured housing. Are those? What are those?
I was going to say, do you know what those are?
Mobile?
No.
Yeah.
Semi, yeah.
Semi. They
Permanent,
The wheels
hopefully.
are taken off. Makes doing an open house a little harder, but you used
What-
to be able to just pull them down to the main drag. And no?
No, yeah.
It makes the open houses harder, did you say?
Yeah, because you can't do them here anyway. But yeah, you used to just hook your mobile home up to your truck.
Oh, and you just
pull it
plug-
down. No, when they're on wheels.
No.
How about tiny houses?
Oh
my
God.
gosh. I love that. I would totally dig a tiny house.
What would you do in it?
I mean, live?
She doesn't
How-
need a
how-
kitchen.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, wash. I need a microwave, a dishwasher.
Do they have legitimate kitchens in tiny houses?
Yes.
Gas
like
stoves
full
and
on.
stuff?
Yeah. Tough Shed, I heard, is making them.
Yeah.
I've seen they're taking the tough sheds from Home Depot and converting them into tiny houses.
Yeah. I want to do a concubine or a compound of tiny houses.
It's not a concubine. I'm going to look up concubine. You're saying something so rude, and I guarantee
No, it can't be rude.
Concubine. How do you spell that? Is it
Yeah.
with a Q?
Compound. I would love to do a tiny house compound.
Okay.
How fun would that be?
In polygamous society, so welcome, a woman who lives with a man but has lower status than his wife or wives. So
Definitely a
let's try that again.
compound.
Lives in a
Let's try that
Definitely a
again.
compound. Wow. It's too early. I haven't had my coffee yet with my special creamer.
Wow.
So
All right.
compound of
I
tiny
knew that
homes.
wasn't right.
How about just a tiny subdivision?
There's a lot of those.
Why don't we just get a cul-de-sac?
But why do you have
of
to call it a
homes?
compound? Can't it just be a
Because if
subdivision?
you could make it like a little, like a Melrose
Disneyland.
Place. Remember
A Melrose Place.
Yes,
That's
they have
what I
a
said.
community pool. Did you say Melrose Place?
I said Disneyland. I mean, it's the
Exactly.
same thing.
How about just
Sorry.
a tiny home park, like a trailer park?
What if we just take all of the
That would be fun.
oh my god, containers?
Same thing.
Like Container Park does, and we just
Yes.
put containers
It's hot in
all
here.
up
Can I turn
in
it
one
And
spot.
make them houses?
And make them houses.
I have a question though. Would you live in one?
I couldn't. No,
So-
I
so-
need more space. I
I'll
just,
get you two of them.
I can't even imagine. But that's what everybody's doing now.
You would actually live in one?
Yes, I would. If I could design it the way that I want, put my grand piano in there.
How do you get a grand piano in a tiny house?
Have you not watched Tiny House
I'm
episodes?
legit looking. No, there's episodes about it.
Yes.
What have you been doing?
I'm getting so excited. It's getting hot in here.
Jeez, you're decorating your tiny house.
I want a tiny home.
So would you
I
take your
legit-
family with you, or was this just for
Just
you?
for you.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you could fit you could have a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom.
But part of the thing when you've got a lot of people living with you, a family, don't you want your own space? You'd be living on top of each other.
Or you could just get a compound and each of you have your own.
Not a concubine.
You're just neighbors.
I just want you to know that if your husband is listening to this, he's super excited that you're into the concubine scenario. I just want you to know.
He'll be follower
"Yeah,
number
Shelly."
276 sharing this.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
277.
I don't think that's the way he's thinking about it, to be honest with you. But okay.
The compound?
Yeah, concubine.
Only.
I don't even know what we're doing. So there was eons ago, I wrote this blog about how people were taking their sheds and converting them into spaces as well. Like they were using oh my God, it was like the coolest thing where they would have bars out there, but it was a shed.
She shed.
Huh?
Like a she shed. Have you heard of a she shed?
No, I'm going to look.
like
Where?
a-
How do you
like a
know all
man
this
cave?
stuff? Like
I
a
know.
man
I
cave,
did my homework
but
last
like
night. I just researched random crap. And
She's watching the episodes of Tiny
she
Houses.
shed.
she shed.
What is okay? So a
Have
she
you not seen the State Farm
look at
commercial?
That no.
What do
I
you
don't watch
do all day?
commercials. Who watches commercials?
That's right. We had a marketing meeting yesterday. Nobody watches commercials.
Yeah, us people on lower budgets.
No, for real though. Who watches commercials anymore? Unless it's Super Bowl, right? I mean, I watch those just because I know that they spend millions.
Doritos?
I'll tell you what, I actually miss commercials when you're watching like a hockey game,
Yeah.
where it's got commercial break and it's just dead silence. It's like,
You're looking at each
can
other
I just
like,
get a commercial?
A she shed. I've never heard
Exists,
of it. This
right?
is amazing. There's some super cute she sheds out there.
oh Lord, she's going to be doing a reno on a she shed next.
But that's kind of cool. So I would probably do like a man cave she shed.
Yeah, so you have room for all your love sacks.
Yeah, because I have no room in my house for them.
You just rebuilt your whole house.
I
Why
know,
would you not
but I
make room
didn't.
for that.
I didn't extend it. I should have extended it.
Did you buy stock in love sack?
I pretty much should have.
think
Yeah,
she bought-
with
she
the amount
bought
of
all
money I
their-
spent.
Love
Supply.
sack.
Mhm.
Hey,
The
but I
love
will
sack.
tell you right now they're doing this thing where you can get financing directly through them with no interest for 48 months.
That's weird because I bought mine 6 years ago and they were doing that same thing.
Well, they've brought it back, Brendan.
Still there.
Just like Real Estate Exposed, bringing it back.
We're recovering.
Brought it back. It's a special. God dang it.
Oldie but a goodie.
Yeah. I'm really fascinated by these she sheds. I think we're gonna write something about it. I think we should decorate one. I think.
Build one?
Yeah, let's find
Do
some.
you have room in your yard?
Yes,
I have a
she
shit
does.
ton
She has
of
a
room in my-
shit ton of room for her she shed.
Yeah, I have a shit ton of room. Let's do a she shed.
Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah.
Yes. She
She
shed.
shed.
Shit ton
of
and she shed.
sheds. Yeah.
Shit ton of room in her she shed.
So I think
That's
those
what
are
she
kinda cool.
said.
So now here's a question though: would an appraiser put value on this?
No.
On your
it's not
shed?
attached.
On the she shed?
No, you could take it in your Tesla and drive it wherever you want.
Not sheds. Those aren't. No, we're not talking about
Are we talking about what
concubines.
A
We're
she shed.
talking
Yeah,
about
she shed.
sheds.
Yeah, it doesn't convey with the property. You take it with you.
You could take it with you. What if it conveyed with the
Be like a
property?
tool shed.
Then
Okay.
you would have a tiny home or a manufactured home. Back.
But it-
Ooh, look how we just circled right back to.
But it would be like, so it'd be like a mini casita, and
Yeah.
it would probably go under the casita rules.
Which would be you
If
got
it's not
it out
attached
with
to the
another.
property, it doesn't work, right?
Do you think
Yeah.
because it doesn't have water and gas to it, it might not? Maybe that would be one of the things. Maybe.
Well,
if you
wouldn't you want water in your she shed?
I mean,
I would.
I-
Dishwasher and sink.
It belongs in all she sheds.
you don't even cook. Why would you need a dishwasher?
Well, I mean that's microwave, dishwasher. Somebody
Oh.
has to clean the dishes,
You
right?
just order. I mean, your
Oh,
favorite
are
meal
you saying
is
throwaway reservations? My
through.
favorite meal is I make great reservations. Yes.
reservations.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's happening.
There's an app
anymore.
for that.
All right, so we've covered manufactured properties. We've covered, and I know that there's part of the parts of our country where these are like, people have taken a whole lot of manufactured properties, she sheds, man caves, whatever you want, tiny homes, all of that, where they've created communities of them.
Right up Tornado Alley.
Did you? So speaking of tornadoes, the up desks that you're looking at, they were impacted by the Nashville. Everything was gone.
Oh, really?
From the tornado.
That's why they're gone. It wasn't like a
Yes.
massive sell.
No. He's looking at the standing desk, and I was like, I can't. It's all sold out. That's crazy. And we're thinking it was because of COVID, and they're just buying all desks.
Well, I also heard that you can't find any desks right now because all the kids need them at home.
So that's
in
what
order
we
to do
thought it was,
homework,
and I was doing more research on that, and it was because of the Nashville tornado.
There's another tornado. I saw that there was like
Heading
a
up
watch
Hurricane.
for it. Hurricane. They're not the same.
No.
That was a tornado, though.
That one was. But
Yeah. Okay.
The big hurricane's going on right now.
In Dallas or something. Texas.
Louisiana.
Somewhere out there. Louisiana.
Somewhere.
Seriously?
Yeah.
See, we don't-
Made landfall last night.
All right, so you've got hurricanes, tornadoes, all on that side of the world. We don't really have, touch wood, things like that. Like you've got earthquakes in California. I feel like we've gotten a few earthquakes here.
Yeah.
But they came from California.
They came from
Well, Reno.
everything's coming
We had
from
one
California.
recently from Reno, right?
Yeah, but Reno's
Fires.
almost
Yeah,
like-
we've had fires. That recently was a
It's hard to burn the rocks, but
Mount Charleston
It can
fire.
Yeah,
happen.
Charleston had stuff.
There are some trees up there.
yeah.
We don't have a lot of stuff going on. You know what I mean? As far as
We're one of the
natural.
We're number 3 in the COVID crisis. Stop complaining.
We just got bumped down, by the way. I was just reading this again. So Arizona just got moved into second place. New York is number 1
Still. Yeah. And we used to be like number 1, number 2 in the foreclosure crisis. I mean, we have crises. Leave us alone.
Yeah, that was a while ago, huh?
We have crisis. I'm talking about I guess it would be it's not natural. COVID isn't natural. So
Natural
yeah, you gotta pay
disaster.
it
You don't
back.
want one of those.
So one of the things that I remember seeing, safest cities in the United States, right? Henderson was one of them.
Yeah,
That's where
all my
you
Henderson
live.
people.
But I don't see that now anymore. Like I'm seeing Columbia,
I'm a proud
Maryland,
Hendertucky myself.
Yonkers, New York, Plano,
Yonkers?
Texas, Gilbert, Arizona, South Burlington, Vermont, Virginia Beach, Virginia, Bismarck, North Dakota, and Nashua, New Hampshire.
What?
All right. So of those places, where would you go live?
Las Vegas.
Henderson.
It was neither one of those were
Oh.
mentioned. I just
And
gave
I'm
the
not
top
going
10.
anywhere else. That's probably why
No,
it's
but
safe.
What if you did?
I
What
don't
if
feel
you
like
had an
traveling.
opportunity?
Then they would fall off the safe list.
See, of all of those, I'd
'Cause
probably
I'd be
go to
there.
Dogs
Virginia
are there.
Beach.
Yeah.
I'd go to Virginia Beach, I think.
Virginia
Really?
Beach.
I don't want to live on the East Coast.
No, why?
Too humid.
Hurricanes?
Hurricanes.
Too many natural disasters.
All
Yeah.
right, screw it.
Too many
Let's talk
people.
about roads. How about
Roads?
Roads.
And don't make
Uh,
it boring again.
I
Yeah,
know. I'm like,
let's just talk about
back
it.
to me. I thought we already talked about rates.
No.
We're doing
No.
all right with rates.
We
We're actually
talked
up a little
about
bit.
chlamydia, but we didn't talk about rates.
That was last episode.
We also talked about it this episode because he stopped
You
doing
said he-
that
yeah, he
half.
backed down.
Oh, yes. So we should start to see, I think we went up a quarter because stocks and everything kind of rallied coming out of Friday, I think it was, into, what day are we on? It's still
Thursday.
Thursday. It's still Thursday. Yeah, so rates have actually been holding still under the 3s for a 30-year. I locked somebody yesterday at 2.375 for a 15-year, so 2.25 for a 15-year.
So are 15 years more affordable than 30 years?
There used to be a day when it was like a full point difference. It's not like that today.
So what would be the benefit of someone doing a 15-year versus a 30-year? Like what would be, let's say I want to buy, I don't know. Let's talk about the person that you talked to, right? Yesterday. What was the price point?
He was doing a refinance, but I think he was like in the 300s. He just wanted to pay off his debt in a certain amount of time, and that half a point difference for him made he's already paying it I think he'd been paying it like a 15 anyways, and he was at like 3.5, or actually he was actually at 4%.
Yeah.
So to get to 2.375 was amazing because he'd already been paying. And that ultimately what he's been paying is going to cut down his period of time or his term.
Yeah.
Shorter than 15 years. It'll be like 10 or 11.
Wow.
So what would be, let's pretend that he wasn't paying extra, right, to begin with. What would be the difference in payment between a 30-year and a 15-year for a $300,000 house with
Are you
current
like
interest
asking
rates?
me, or you?
Yeah,
Want
do you
me
want us to
like
get
No
back
pressure,
to that?
yeah.
Jeez.
Do you want us to, I mean, I know I didn't prep you for this. We can get back
Do you want
to
to borrow
Yeah,
my
come
iPhone?
back to me.
You don't know that like right off the top of your head?
I don't know. Sorry,
All right. Well,
but it sounds like a good question.
I think so. I think it's a great question. Well, here's the other thing. So I was talking to somebody, and one of the things that obviously everybody's refinancing right now, right? When I bought my house 5 years ago, I feel like And you did the loan. Well, your people did the loan, Shelly.
My peeps.
Your peeps. And it was actually a pretty low rate to begin with. So there was no point in me refinancing right now. So what I did was I recasted my loan because I had a little extra money sitting in the bank. So I recast my loan as a different option of refinancing to keep my interest rate down, because that keeps your interest rate at the same rate, but it decreases your monthly payments,
your balance,
and so
your principal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's exactly what I did. And so when I recast the loan, my payments went from like $1,600 to $800, which is crazy. So I can, work at McDonald's as a manager and still be able to pay my mortgage, which is kind of a cool thing.
Those
God
are some
forbid
major
something
dreams right
happens.
there.
But I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
And
So-
live in your tiny home.
God forbid something happens. Right?
So when you recast, is that recasted over a 30-year period?
Yeah.
Whatever the term is. So
Yeah.
if
Or
you
what's
had
left in the
27 years, it
Yep.
would recast it to 27 years.
Okay.
So that's actually beneficial for people who are like they're taking their net proceeds and they want to kind of
Yeah.
move into the new home, right? They could do a lower down payment knowing that they're going to sell their current home, knowing the net proceeds would go to offset that at some point, and they do a recast. I have a
Recast
lot
when
of
they
people
do
doing
sell
that.
it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So to answer your question, a 15 to 30 year difference is about $700.
Wow. So
Yeah,
$700 more for a 15-year.
Correct.
Which he was already doing, so it made
Correct.
sense for him. Now, the only difference is at a 30-year, he wouldn't have to do that extra $700. Now he has no choice,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
So
He'd have that
You
option.
like options.
I like options.
Yeah.
Non-committal.
He was very like, and for him, he'd already been paying it, so he's like, done. Just sign me up for them. Like,
I'm going to continue with that.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, his rate was going down a lot, so I'm
Yeah,
sure that
he
saved
was
him a
looking
little
at
bit
it,
of money.
interest
Yeah.
over time,
I
yeah.
mean, I have a client that ended up buying a house at, I want to say $860,000 2.5 years ago, just recently refinanced in like May. And her payments when she first started was like $4,000 something or the other, right? Now it's $2,000 because
Yeah.
of the interest rates. Like that to me is nutso.
Well, I mean, our mutual client too, right? They were looking at what they bought 2 years ago. They could their payment 2 years ago is exactly the same today, but they can get into a sales price of like $150,000 more, right? They purchased at $418, was it? And now they are looking at $595. What is that math on that? Like $160,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's a nicer home.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, and it's the same payment
It's a
that
lot of
they've
math.
had.
I'm
know,
sorry, I'm
like-
still working on the numbers. It's too many carry the ones, which by the way, they don't do anymore in school. The whole
What?
carry the one thing. Am I right about this? Am I wrong about this? I feel like I'm right about this.
Oh
Why
yes,
don't
it's
they
a
do
They
it?
don't
different
carry the ones
concept,
anymore.
What did they do?
I don't know because
They put 'em back.
So last,
They just drop them?
yes, they just I don't know what they do. They don't carry the one anymore. When
They
my
use a calculator?
when my kiddos were home for the spring, like when school stopped, they were coming home and they're like, "Mom, I need some help with this." And I'm looking at them like, "Well, you carry the one." They just looked at me like, "What do you mean carry the one?" So there were again lots of memes about, "Oh my God, I just learned that they no longer carry the one. Like that's not the way to do math anymore."
Wait, your kids put memes together for you?
No, other
They're
Oh.
making fun of their mother. You should see the memes. There's a whole site of memes on Vandana.
Pinterest.
Pinterest.
Yeah,
There's a board.
I will kill them. Fair enough. What were we
A
talking
link to your
about?
MySpace page, too.
Rots.
Refinancing.
Rates, 15-year, 30-year.
Yeah. And then, so the other option is recasting.
Yeah,
You can
it's a
also
good-
do home equity lines right now because properties have gone up in pricing, right? Now, here's the other thing I have to remind clients is that when they consider refinancing, your refinancing appraisal is not going to be the same as if you sell your house appraisal, right?
Why is
It's,
that?
it's not like, it just isn't, right? Because here's the
They're
thing
done
with.
for two different purposes.
They're done for two different purposes, and the appraisal has more information, I believe, when it comes to having a buyer in place with the contract. Somebody's willing to pay that price, right? So and it's usually a little bit higher than what your refinance price is, and so I'm assuming that that's why they do that. I don't know. You work with appraisers, Shelly. You tell us.
I mean, it should really be based off of comps. Either way. Yeah. So it really, although they have a target, right? They see a contract, so it's a little bit easier to say, "Oh, this is the number we're trying to get to."
Yeah.
So for a refinance, I mean, in some cases
Justify
we're
it.
thinking, "Hey, you're going to get this." I'll reach out to my agents to say, "Hey, what does this home like comp out for?" Because that's what the appraiser should be using. Same thing if they were going to go and sell it.
See, I always looked at it that the appraiser on a purchase was looking to justify a value. And then on a refi, they're more or less trying to set a value because
Yeah.
they're not.
It's a good way to think of it, yeah. Because they really do have they have the, like what we're trying to get to, right, with a contract. With a refinance, they're just really but they should technically be looking at the same things.
An appraisal should be a value, and they should be the same, but they're not.
Right.
I think
Depends
like
on who's
Brandon
doing it.
said, right? They're trying to justify getting to that price, so the appraisal will. And here's the thing: you get one appraiser to do an appraisal, you get another one to do the same appraisal. They're different.
Yeah.
That's what baffles the crap out of me. You remember one of our clients had a VA loan, ended up coming in like $70-something thousand less than the purchase price. And then we switched him over from VA to conventional. And by we, I mean you, I mean them, and their decision. Switched him to conventional, price came in.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And the VA appraiser is just automatically assigned.
Correct.
So if that guy wouldn't have been in the rotation, it would have been somebody else. It may have come in at value.
Right. Yeah, and we see that with some of our VA appraisers. I mean, honestly, any of the low values that I've gotten have all been since COVID, have all been because of VA appraisers. All of my other conventional FHA, because that's from our panel, have been fine.
But here's the thing, just because you have an appraisal that comes in, I think this is the important part to remember, just because you have an appraisal come in with a value, it doesn't mean that's the end all be all. You have options, right? You can, what is it called when you have them reconsider?
Tidewater?
Tidewater's VA, reconsideration.
Yeah, so you can have that appraisal reconsidered, right? By providing comps and saying, hey, you missed this. Because once you have an appraisal that doesn't come in at value, you can get a copy of it as a buyer's agent, as a buyer, and then submit that to the listing side. And then both of you as agents can work together to get that appraisal value reconsidered. Now, the chances of that happening, like how often, I'm sorry, Brent, I know you.
No, the appraiser is ultimately the one that has to make
that
the
decision,
adjustment, right? So you got to get them to convince that. And then here'd be the other question. Is it always in your best interest of your buyer for you to be negotiating to get a higher appraisal?
So sometimes, I mean, if you're sending blank contracts, shame on you. But if you see how we circle back,
I like it.
But
good job.
Just send me a blank appraisal, please.
Yeah, exactly.
This transaction will be smooth.
So it's not always in the buyer's best interest unless they've been looking at the property. This is the one that they want. It's their home. This is what they've already started decorating it and putting aside money to buy all the things that go in it. Like if they have already mentally moved in, it's a done deal. They're going to make it. They're going to figure it out. Right?
So it really comes down to the reason your buyer's buying it. If they're buying it emotionally, this is their home and they want this house, then you, as a buyer's agent, you should do everything you can to help them get it.
Because
if they're going
to have to come in with the extra cash to cover that
Possibly.
appraisal price, right? If the seller isn't going to reduce the price.
Well, I think all this multiple offers is making this happen, right? They're getting into this bidding war, and this happened like a few years ago for us, and they're like, I'll pay up to X amount of dollars over contract if appraised value is whatever.
Right, but that's
right?
And then you just don't have the comps to support that yet.
Correct.
So the market's growing or increasing faster than the comps are. So you need some cash buyers in there too.
To help?
To pay over so that you have comps.
Yeah.
Kinda go.
When I talked to one of my favorite appraisers just solely about like the market, not because I needed any assistance on my appraisals or anything like that, but because that's against the law.
Was that a disclaimer?
Yeah, so I like to get market update from him, and he had mentioned that 20% of his appraisals are actually coming in low, not because they're not listed correctly, but because of the bidding wars or there's there's a lot of seller contributions being added on top of that, and so he's having a hard time justifying pricing. And he's the first person I asked to see, hey, are we hitting a stable market? Is it increasing? Is it declining? Declining. And he's always declining.
They would see it first.
I don't think you would say declining. It's declining.
Decline.
It's
Data or data?
Rural or rules?
Vowels or vowels?
We all watched the show again last night, didn't we?
Our two views, remember?
Yeah, that's right. We all watched the show again, and so it's fresh in our mind.
That's all covered in episode 1.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so appraisals, right?
And
Not the end
bidding
all be all,
war.
but bidding wars. Oh my God. I'm fascinated. I mean, this is the time, if you had a listing, this is the time to have a listing.
Really? So I should sell my house?
For about a week.
Sell it for a week?
No, to have a listing for the next week. Who knows what's going to happen in September? Yeah. I'm worried. Are you not worried? You don't care?
No, I care.
It's like, look, it doesn't matter to me. I make the same money.
We're apparently in a recovery, but we didn't know we were even in a recession. So.
Yeah, so it's all on the upcline now. We're fine.
Yeah.
No, I do care, but like in real estate, there's always going to be people buying and there's always going to be people
True.
selling. So, I mean, we're just going to have to adapt to that. Yes, if you have to sell your home in a declining market, that's going to suck. But if you can hold on through it, typically it cycles back and you're okay. So,
Yeah.
And then just buy your home right. That's where you make your money, not on your sell. It's when
That's
you
what I
purchase
did.
it.
I bought my home
Yeah.
right.
I mean, I think that like we all lived through that our last major housing
Yep.
crisis, right? And
I mean,
what
we're all
we saw,
here.
we all pivoted when things shifted for us, when things were going really well, and we're all getting like 4 or 5, one buyer's buying 4 homes at one new home community, right? And then it just, and we hit the now somebody became an REO agent, and you know what I mean. So
Ooh, me.
yeah,
Sorry.
so I think that that's just one of our
Yeah,
things that we
you'll
just do.
adapt,
We'll,
and I
we'll
mean,
pivot, and yeah.
People will get in the industry, get out of the industry. It'll adjust. But I do care. I mean, I don't want people to suffer, but we have other crises right now.
What are they?
The rental crisis.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that I don't even understand, because how does that? What happens? I mean, do people just
Become
they're
homeless?
gonna? Yeah,
No. I think there's a lot of programs out there to help tenants, and I think that's going to be the part where they really need to take advantage of these programs that are available to them. It's the part where tenants aren't doing that, right?
Yeah, and it's in the best interest of both the tenant and the landlord to work something out.
Yeah.
And so hopefully that happens and we can alleviate some of that. But that would be a little bit more scary to me, seeing
tenant
that.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a tenant that, and I think we talked about this in the first episode, there was a tenant that I only have 3 properties that haven't paid rent, right? Of the 3, 2 of them came to some form of negotiations, and the third was like, I'm sorry, I just can't pay. So I said, September 1st is going to be around the corner. If you can't, then just know that you're going to have to find other places to go. And he's like, well, I need more time. You don't get to live in someone's house for free forever, right? I mean, you can go apply for assistance to help pay for the rent for that month. But if we don't have rent September 1st, we're starting eviction proceedings, period, the end.
Sad, but true.
Which sucks, right? But he's suffering from his business. I represent the landlord, so my obligation is to my landlord. And I don't want to make this gentleman homeless, but I also can't have.
But you don't want to make your owner homeless either,
Right.
Correct.
because
Yeah.
they're carrying. Most
They've
of the
got
time, they're
carrying
carrying
costs for that property.
they're carrying a loan on that and everything else,
Yeah.
plus taxes, everything. They
Well,
have
the rent
expenses.
on that is like $3,000. So for them, a $3,000 that's a big rent amount, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for someone.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tough for the
an
tenant,
income.
but it's also really tough for the landlord.
You think about that. 3 months of not paying that, now you owe $9,000.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a little bit
Yeah.
hard to recover from if
Yeah,
you can't
for
even
sure.
pay the 3. So
yeah.
Well, one of the other tenants that I had a payment plan with, I spoke to the landlord yesterday, and she was like, hey, I thought about the proposal that was made. And so the proposal coming from the AG's office has been, we recommend that you get about 15% of the recurring rent amount, right? 15% of the recurring rent amount, when the guy owes $5,600 total, right, is $165 on the rent amount is $1,100, right? So it's $165 at 15%. $165 a month is going to take him 35 months to pay off that
Wow.
$5,600.
Oh my gosh.
That landlord is like, I don't want him in my house for 35 months. And I'm like, well, you don't have to keep him in the house. It's just a promissory note that he will continue paying. But
when he moves, he's not going to pay.
I know. So then
but
what? You have
a
small
promissory
claims?
note. Now you have to go get a judgment. You have
Yeah.
to take him to small claims, and you have to write all of that. Like it's going to get pretty nasty when it comes to the landlord tenant stuff. And so she was like, I'm sorry, but I want him. His lease ends January. I want this paid off by January. I think that's only fair. And so I presented that to him, and silence. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I might be getting a call from the AG's office, Brandon. I'll send that over to you. I'll
I
forward
think
it to
she
you.
had a call with the realtors yesterday, so
Thank you for your email.
Thank you for your email. Yeah. Yeah.
it has been forwarded to Brandon, the black hole. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
Scary stuff.
let's figure something positive and then wrap this thing up.
It got super serious. The music's probably going
Right.
to fade in and out, and
Right.
it's going to be. So everybody went back to school. How was our first week of going back to school?
Oh my God, so cool.
So cool.
So cool.
So cool. I'm just glad. So I am happy that we're back on a schedule, right? I
Yes,
think that's
yeah.
the most important part. My kids were waking up at 4:00 in the afternoon. Partially my fault, but I got so much
Partially.
Yeah,
accomplished.
we all lived on your kids' schedule, by the way.
Right? Sorry, thank you.
She was home all day. She didn't want all the disruptions.
I know.
Shh. Shh, they're
But
sleeping.
the amount of work that I got done, I mean, I could leave and go, whatever.
They wouldn't know.
They wouldn't know. Nobody would know. No, but seriously.
And they're old enough to be home alone. So
Correct. Yeah, everybody calm the hell down. I didn't leave my
AG's office.
12. Yeah, I didn't leave my 5-year-old.
There's going to be a lot of people calling you.
Yeah, no, they're old enough to be on their own and stuff, and they, have all of the emergency stuff that they need. But
They're Game Boys and they're Nintendos.
they're what?
What is a
I
Game
don't
Boy?
Game Boy.
MySpace.
Game Boy.
Yeah, like an old.
They don't have
school-
those anymore?
I mean,
Am I really dating myself?
Yeah, Spada. Do you know what a Game Boy is?
they play on their Ataris.
He's like, now.
Now,
I
Beta
know
does
you're
not
kidding.
know what that is, but I do have an Atari in my car.
I have an Atari.
Yeah, on the
What?
screen.
Oh, I'm like, why would you have an Atari?
Tesla.
You do too.
You do too.
Yeah.
Tesla's update has an Atari.
Oh, really?
Oh my God, all 3 of us have Teslas.
Exposed.
Yeah. So, anyways, the
Because
other
they're our
thing,
sponsor.
They're our sponsor. They just
They're
don't
not.
know it yet.
They're really not. Yeah.
shit, what was I
Yeah.
saying? Yeah, so now they're like waking up. They're having dinner. Like they're hungry for dinner by the time they usually used to have breakfast. So
Why does that happen? That's the same thing for Sydney. She's like, I'm hungrier now. I'm like,
yeah,
Well, you're
yeah.
awake.
is that what it is?
for
You're just
longer.
burning
Like
more
yeah. Well, and I fought really hard to get my kids into Academy, which is like another program that they have that sort of gives. So right now, all the schools are on 4 periods. So there was a 5th period. My kids were begging me not to put them in. And I'm like, I'm sorry, that's not your choice. You're going to have to do it if I make you, right? And so I fought to get them in there, and both of them are now in there this week.
Oh.
Yeah,
So
it's an
wait,
interesting
your
process, but
kids only have 4 class or 5 now.
they have 5 now, 5 classes for the day. Yeah,
Wow.
every day.
Sydney's is she has 3 classes, but she has 3 Monday
AP.
and then 3 Tuesday. I mean,
Oh, they're different.
she alternates them for each day. It's weird. And then she has Wednesdays like a full day, but it's her own instructional class. Yeah, it's not live at all.
What about your kid, Brandon? He's back in school.
He's a bum. No, not in school.
Not in school.
24,
You already lived
he's
that
out
life.
of school, graduated. I'm proud of him, so that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
That's
He's a
what
good kid.
happens on the other side. They finally make it through, and they turn out okay.
And he still hangs out with you.
I know.
That's the best part. I hope my daughter will still think I'm cool enough
Just
to
feed
hang out
them,
with me.
and they keep coming around.
That's the trick.
Well, that's definitely not going to happen for me then.
And I can't.
You're
and I-
screwed.
and I can't afford to feed him, so Vandana cooks for him too. So that's great.
Beta's over there.
He's like,
Sharon, yeah. Tyson's roommate is like, yeah, buddy. What was I gonna say? Crap. Oh, so last week we talked about the first cars we ever owned.
Oh, yes.
Did you looked up the Toyota Corona, right?
Yes,
We
I
did.
told Rich, and he's like, dude, that's a pimpin' car. I'm like, what the? I don't think.
I want one of those for my man cave. My separate garage from the house.
He's like, that was like the luxury car of Toyota. I'm like, I think we're thinking of the wrong car.
Yeah.
1977. It was probably still the luxury car.
You had a car in
No,
1977?
that's when it was made.
Oh, I was like,
The
"You're not
one
that
car
old."
in production, Brandon
I
Roberts.
started driving it in like 1989,
Yeah.
1988.
Okay, got it. You just had it from the 70s. Got it.
My dad, I think, bought it brand new.
Got
and
it.
he took it perfect condition till I got it.
And then not so much. Do you remember? I don't know. It was my brother took all of his cars and like souped them up and dropped them and put LED lights and put like a big boom box in the trunk.
You
and
didn't
was
do
like
that?
blasting. I never did that.
Really?
You did that?
I had, yes. That was
What?
like, I know. It's crazy. Actually, and I did that after high school, which is weird.
In fact, today, if you go to my car,
Tesla's right. Like,
I remember cutting out the stereo so I could fit another one in there.
you're serious, right? Because I
Yeah.
did. Okay.
oh my
That's
god,
part of the way I messed up this car.
Dude, all I did
the
was
gas
drive it.
system
You
was
guys are
dope.
Crazy.
The gas tank used to rattle. That was like the coolest thing. You have to like get the weather stripping to. Okay, too much.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's pretty interesting.
I never
Yeah.
put lights under the car though.
I never had the LED because that was after my time. But
That was
I
a
did
little
drop
too
my
ghetto,
car.
but that's
and-
cool.
I think I have a picture of like my brother kissing his car because he loved it so much.
What did he
somewhere.
drive? You had the Sentra, so
Honda.
what did?
I think it was a Honda
Well,
Accord or
every
something.
Honda had to be like out like that.
Maybe it was a Hyundai. I don't remember.
I don't want to say anything
Yeah.
inappropriate.
Sorry, everybody
We're just
saw it
gonna
because remember,
bleep you
this
out.
Is a vodcast.
Oh, shit.
We'll make sure we bleep that out, Shelly.
Perfect.
Edit it out. Edit that
She's
part
called
out.
me a cracker. She's called me a honky, and now she's whatever.
Oh my God.
She's done
I
all
know,
that.
I
One,
said-
one each show.
I said I like to eat crackers.
Exposed.
So, all right. So we're gonna end the
Yeah, I
show
was
this
gonna
time.
say
with
We've gone
if
downhill.
you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Ooh.
Oh.
I would say if this is a superpower, but I would want to have the disappearing superpower.
Invisible.
Invisible. Is that what- yes.
Not a
that's
superpower.
No. I do cloning superpower. Is that possible?
You get one. So pick one.
Okay, I think I would go for the second one, where I could
The
have
cloning.
multiple. I mean, what is that? Is it called cloning? What's the
I could
superpower on
handle
it?
2 of you. I think 2 of you would be better. You wouldn't have
2 or 3.
response emails.
2 or 3.
Automatic
I would
emails.
How
definitely
much
not have-
power do you want?
I want a lot. Just kidding.
You want cloning power.
Yes, is that a power? Super.
Yeah, and that's so
It
that
is now.
so that because nobody can do it better than you. So is that
Yes, because I just feel like I can't be in every place that I want to be at one time, and so if I could just have 14 of me around this little area of Las Vegas, it'd be amazing.
Yeah.
And my agents and my clients and
For the
my
whole
family.
compound of tiny houses.
Yes,
Yeah.
You could fill the neighborhood.
exactly.
why? You could have a concubine. It would be all right.
It could be, yeah,
We just
exactly.
It's still you.
It's
Rich
still
is
you.
like, yes, sign me up.
14 Shellys. Game on.
It's like, okay.
You can even
And
get
back to you,
can
Brandon.
even train one of them to cook and another one to clean.
I mean, what super freaky natural
pretty
power would that be?
I think that's pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Superhero.
All right, Brandon, you've had some time to think about
I
this.
would mind reading.
Mind reading. Oh God, I don't give
That'd be a little
what people
scary,
think
but I
about
think
me.
that'd be fun.
We just
We're all like, don't look, don't.
I'd find out I really don't have any friends.
we love you
Yes, we
Do
do.
you? I
most
just-
days.
Just on Thursdays.
Yeah, I think that would be. I think any superpower would be a little bit scary, but I think that one would be pretty cool.
Because you could read what everybody's thinking
Mhm.
without having to talk
You
to
may
them.
not-
Is that why?
That's
or?
scary.
No,
to me.
you may not really want to know what somebody thinks, right?
True.
Yeah.
But I think that'd be cool. How about you?
I'd like to teleport. I want to be able to go anywhere.
I want to change mine.
That's cooler.
Yeah, I want to go anywhere.
I could
just
live
wanna-
in Costa
I wanna
Rica and work
travel.
here.
Yes, I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to go anywhere. I want to just. I mean, guess what? I don't like you. Poof, I'm gone.
Bye, Felicia.
We don't want to talk about this.
I gotta go.
I'm good. I'm out.
Can
Right?
you make us
I
disappear
mean,
when
I
we go
feel
like
like
that?
I feel like I kind of do that now. All right, watch. Ready? I'm gone, and here I am again. Can you edit that out? Can you make that? A
Can you
thing?
make that magic?
a thing?
Vandana, we're live.
Can you put thought bubbles above their head so I know what they're thinking about?
Hey, could you make 15 of us, 15 of me, just around the...
Yeah, if I drink too much, I see too many Shellys anyway. So. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
let's get out of here.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we're out. All right. So if you need to get a hold of us, facebook.com/realestatex, like the letter X, is how you get a hold of us. We want to hear your stories about what's going on in your market. We want to know any funny stories that have happened.
Craziest thing that's happened on you when you bought something and
Yeah.
What superpower you'd want?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll actually talk about it on air. So, and if you don't want your name used, just tell us you don't want your name used. If you're talking shit about a client, that's okay. We'll respect that too. And with that, we're out.
we're out.
Peace, mother.
Bye for now.
Peace out, suckers.